Hey everybody, it's Steve. You know me, I go by SteveR82. I want to give a shout out to all my new subscribers. I really hope I'm bringing value to all of you because that's what I'm always trying to do. And I know my last couple videos about Splinterlands and Mirandis get some views, but a lot of you are here because you want to see the Binance Smart Chain videos. And so I'm going to keep doing those. I'm going to keep looking at projects. And today I'm going to do a quicker video that I wanted to get out today because I want to show you some of the sites that I'm on, how I'm making money on Binance Smart Chain. This one, you really need to do your own research. You need to understand I'm going to show you a couple projects that are newer, that are not fully audited yet. And if you put money in them, it's risky, but they also have very high returns. So you're going to have to make that decision for yourself. I'll provide some links to the sites. I don't think any of them are referrals. If they are, I will tell you. And then I'll ask you about one little site if you sign up for it at the end would be cool because I'm looking for one more referral to get a free NFT. And it's a referral to a free game site. It's actually to the Gala game site that's featured in this video. But today we're going to be talking about DeFi. So, as we know, the DeFi station on Binance has been up. And they've some, the top people are kind of staying the same: Venus, Pancake, Swap, Auto Farm. Down here, you have some other ones that are kind of moving around. B Dollar moved up. I think these ones went down a little bit. This one went down. Cream went down. And so you can always come here. You can look at these ones. You can see if they have a check mark on if they've been audited. You can look at the volume that they have if that's something that is posted. You can look how much money is locked on each one, which is a good way to know about the value. They did add this little feature in now where you can put an ad to put yourself on top, and Bakery Swap has put an ad to put themselves on top, even though they are not one of the top platforms. Well, they are, and I featured them in my top 3 because they are one of the big platforms out there. But I went ahead and sold my Bakery tokens because they don't have the big returns that I'm looking for when I'm over here. So we're going to start off by showing you. We want to show that first, this, and then those 3. Okay, so this is the first one I'm going to show you. This is Value DeFi. Value DeFi was on Ethereum. They're a team that's been around for a little while. The site's only been live for like a day and a half, and they've already got $60 million total value locked. Their token has gone from 5,000 to 14,000. And the thing I want to kind of ask you guys is, when I got into this yesterday, would you want me to start telling you guys when I move into these if you're one of my followers? Would you like me to post a quick little story with a link to a site like this, knowing that it would be very risky? For me, I put 0.4 BNB at risk. I've already sold enough of this token to get back 0.4 BNB. And now as I farm these tokens, I'm just going to continue to move them into their farm because their farm is still paying 10,000%. So once I'm gonna basically claim, sell half of it, or a little more than half of it into BNB, and then I'm gonna stake it. And as long as this program works out okay, even if the token goes up and I get less BNB, not a big deal because it wasn't any of it that I was using. And that's kind of my goal on any of these sites I get in early. Get my early investment out. And I know that stops me from making as much gains, right? Because the token went from 5 to 14 and I was selling it at 8 and 10 to get my initial investment out. And if I would have just held it all, sure, I would have had more money. But it puts me in a place now where I can now use this site without any worries of losing any money. Now, the other site that I want to talk to you about, that I've talked about in the past, is Goose. And basically for Goose, I just want to point out that they have now passed their second audit, and they've gone up to $200 million locked. And I'll show you how they jumped up to all the way from 40 million to 200 million so fast. And it's something that's pretty crazy, and I'm thinking about putting some money into because if you look here, so if you normally farm egg BUSD LPs on this site, you get a nice return of 1,300%, which is not shabby. No one's going to complain about earning that much, and you're going to be earning eggs if you farm here. But the reason they jumped up so much is because they got an auto farm listing. So this is the auto farm site that I showed in a video the other day. Not as many people were interested, probably because you're like, yeah, auto farm, you know, when you first look at it, yeah, 30, 50, 50, 30, But then when you get into the actual farms, you start seeing some better numbers in the 200s. But where's those thousands, right? Where's those thousands that people want to play with? I mean, this is a Binance Smart Chain. You can move around your money. You can jump into all kinds of different pools. The fees are low enough to where you can stake small amounts of money, earning huge percentages, get that, and just keep doing that if you find the right places to do it. You do run the risk of losing all the money you put in, so you have to be aware of that. There will be rug pulls, and I'm going to show you an example of a couple sites that were listed as rug pulls that came out and were only out for like a day or two. Got people to lock up maybe 10, 15, 30 million and ran away with it because new sites seem to be able to get about $20 million really fast from people that are just trying to earn that insanely high APR, because this one started at around 50,000. So that's how I was able to make all my initial investment back within less than a day. So, sorry, let me just move that a tiny bit. Oh, that was the wrong way. There we go. Okay, so now what I wanted to talk about the reason why I'm showing you Goose, even though I showed you Goose before, is because on Auto Farm you get, look at this. This is 39.9 M. I think that means, I don't even know if that's million or what that is, but if you do egg and BUSD here and you stake them here, where you get 3.49% a day return. So I'm looking at possibly putting some money here. Now, of course, here, since you're on auto, you're earning the auto token, but they must have put a lot of auto tokens out there for people to be able to farm out of here, because it is just, that's an astronomical APR on this. So it's a pretty fun thing to see, this one too. I gotta figure that out. Actually, what is this? 2.7 daily, 900 APR. So why are they showing 1.7 million? I need to check this out. But the real point is Goose got featured on here, and it jumped up their total value locked from only 40 million like it was before to over 200 million. They passed their second audit on hacking, and so now they've got two audits that say that they can't steal our money from us, and the team is continuing to just put out a lot of communications. They're continuing to work on their site. They're really dedicated, and they were the first ones to start. Their little stitch, if you haven't seen this, is if you are providing liquidity for them, then it's free. But if you're providing liquidity of one of the other kinds of tokens out there, they take a 4% cut, and then they use a majority of this 4% to do token buybacks. That's why if you scroll through their announcements, they'll say that Goose has bought back over 1 million USD in eggs in 15 days. So this is what's helping keep this token up at this high evaluation of over $130. I kind of thought it would fall down a little bit, but it's staying there. So how do you find the next? So now that Goose has shown that this format works, let's look at the Goose copies that are newer. These are the risky sites. I don't know as much about them. I've only put money into one of them. Two of them only started today on the 24th. I'm going to be trying to get this video out pretty quickly so that you can see it and decide if you want to take a look at it. The first one is Viking Swap. So this one, so far, it hasn't shown itself to be any different than Goose. It's a copy. They copied the way the website looks with the tweets here. They copied their farms having deposit fees of 4%. So they didn't really try to change that at all. They kind of changed a little bit of what you can farm with. So you can come and check out here and see if there's a farm that you're more comfortable with. And then they have, a new theme, Armory, where you can deposit your Viking tokens and you can earn this 1,300%, which is about the same. This site's been around for a couple days. And like I said, you can get, about 40 million locked. This is where Goose was before they were able to make a kind of a team up with Auto Farm and get all that extra liquidity pumped into them. So they're only at a market cap of 7 million with 40 million locked. That's always an interesting thing to see. Most people would say your market cap should be close to the value locked in your token. So we'll have to see if this one is able to grow and kind of move up into that range of Goose DeFi. But to me, if you're looking for a farm, they say they're a copy of Goose, which means if their code is a perfect copy, and this is where you have to do your own research, join the Telegram, talk to people, make sure it's a full copy, then it would have the same protections and pass the same audits. Yeah, I still get myself a little cough when I try to talk a lot like this. Okay, so now we're going to look at the resource I've talked to you guys about before and the yield farms list. And so you're starting, this says right here, do your own research, be very careful. Don't come to me and say, how dare you show me these sites where there was a rug pull? Because look, if you're on this site and you're looking for things, you're going to find rug pulls right here, wallet swap. If we go to the next page, there's another one, Tin Finance. Here's the ice cream swap, which got hacked, we believe, but we don't know for sure. And if you keep going through this list, you're going to find more. Rug pull, rug pull, rug pull, rug pull. And as much as I hate to admit it, oh look, here's Goose. So see, Goose is now actually has money on here. So it was only around since February 11th. Now we have February 24th. We're starting to see that because Goose figured out a way to get some stuff going and it works pretty well, you have Tasty Finance and Kickstart that just launched today. So let's take a look at these two sites. Kickstart, and mind you, I have not invested in these yet, has a total value locked of only $3 million and a market cap of only $500,000. This one is brand new. It looks to me like a copy of Goose. And so like Viking Swap, could we see this token get into the $40 or $50 range? I would say they had something kind of interesting if you go through these announcements that would make me worry a tiny bit about getting into this one, is they say that this token launched at $4,000 and now it's down at $28. I don't know what's up with that. That's some really weird dumping. Like Goose launched in the 20s and then just went up from there. It did not launch and then come down to the 20s to my knowledge, but I could be wrong. I wasn't here on the very first day of Goose. So if you look through here, they did do a slight change to the Goose and say that deposit fees will be used to buy back Kick, which is the same, but they lowered their deposit fee to 3%. So they're trying to say, well, Goose is going to take 4% of your tokens when you deposit them. We're only going to take 3%. That does mean they get slightly less funds to buy back tokens with, but you get to keep more of your funds, so maybe it's a little bit easier to go in and out. Other than that, it's the same thing, maybe right now with a little bit less pools, but there's an interesting thing here. They are actually on their pools putting a 3% deposit fee on the Kick token. That is something that I haven't seen before. Usually if you pool their own token, they don't take a fee, but they are paying 15,000% APR on this, which means if you bought a handful of these tokens and put them in here, they would multiply very quickly. That could be why the price has been so dramatically cut down. And so it's an interesting thing to see. You're having more and more people copy the Goose Finance system. And to me, that makes me feel more comfortable about being in Goose, which is why I won't be selling Goose tokens anymore. And I'm actually going to be looking to probably invest them into more liquidity pool to earn more, because I can see them becoming one of the top DeFi platforms on Binance Smart Chain, because they were the first ones here. They're the ones who have passed the audits. They now have people copying them, trying to use their code and their ideas to get sites up and going. And you know, the first sign that you have something special is that people are copying you. And then when we look at Tasty Finance, it's the exact same thing. They have a little bit more money locked at 16 million, and so their evaluation is a little bit higher at 13. They are at almost at 2 million, so it's not as small as the Kickstart one that I just showed you. And here they talk about, you know, their ideas. They have the same post. They've been updating as they've been moving their total value locked up and up. And if you go and look at their farm, They do have an exchange, but most of these exchanges actually run through Pancake Swap. So if we go look at their farms, so they have, some pretty high APRs if you're willing to get in and risk and buy some of their tokens. That takes a lot of risks though, people. You buy this at 45 and you stake it with your BUSD and this tanks down to like $20 or $30. You lose in impermanent loss a lot of your BUSD or your BNB. So that's something that you have to know and be aware of. If you don't know or understand impermanent loss, do not get into farms because you always need to have a pair that you're safe using. This is what you should look for if you don't understand impermanent loss, stable to stable, because then you don't have to worry about impermanent loss. You just have to worry about a rug pull. If you're doing anything else, any other two pairs, you have to worry about the other pair going up and one going down. They actually are offering stable, 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 3 forms of stable, stable. So that's a pretty interesting thing. As you can see, they kept their fee at 4%. They didn't go down to 3 like Kickstarter or try to play with that. And other than that, this is just another copy. You got the Taste token. See, they went with the 0. So you can buy Taste and stake it, earn 5,000%, and deposit fee is 0. If you think this site might be able to grow to 40, 50 billion, $1 million locked, and the token can at least stay around 30 to $40, then it's an interesting idea to see if you maybe want to get into these kind of pools. You really need to do some extra research here, and the extra research that I would say that you need to do is you need to join their telegrams and you need to talk to some people. You need to follow them on Twitter. You need to go ahead and come here, go to their documents, see if they've claimed anything. I haven't done that research yet because I haven't put money in these, but I kind of wanted to do this video to see how you all react to it, me just showing you some brand new sites, some that have just come up with some brand new ways to farm tokens, and just show you kind of the percentages and let you know that the reason why you can use Binance Smart Chain, unlike Ethereum, to possibly jump your investments around from site to site and make these big returns and make some money, and then if you find one good enough, leave your money there, is because you can move your funds so easily. Because on Ethereum, let me just show you an example of what I'm talking about. So on this farm, I have 0.45 that is claimable, right? 0.145. And that is only, if I go to my homepage, about $20. Could you ever claim $20 on Ethereum? You couldn't. But on Binance, we can do this. I'm going to pay this 0.002, which, I don't know, it's like 20 cents maybe. It depends on the current value of BNB, right? It's somewhere between 15 and 20 cents. I only have that one pair, so I'm just going to wait for it. La-di-da. Transaction was confirmed. Okay, that didn't take too long. I could have upped the gas and made it take a little bit longer. So now I'm going to go to their token, right? It's going to come up here that I have 0.45. As you can see, I don't keep a whole lot of money in my wallet. I am putting most of it to work, trying to figure out what to do with these DOT tokens. So if you guys know a good place to stake your DOT tokens, let me know. A lot of places are only offering like 20% returns on them. I want better than that. So I'm going to do this. I'm going to do that. I have 1.0145, so I'm going to sell 0.08. Oh, I'm sorry. I wish I had 0.08. Let's throw a couple more zeros so I can actually do it. I'm just going to pick up this much BNB, right? It's not very much. I'm going to do this swap. This is going to cost me maybe a little bit more because it is a swap, but still, well, I'm well under my $20 in my fees of doing this that I got when I claimed these tokens worth of value. So I can close that. Now that that's like that, I can go to pool. I can go to the BSwap BNB pool. I can say that I want to add liquidity. I can agree. I can go to max. So there's the other half of what I claimed. It's going to cost me a little bit less BNB than I bought. That way I'm actually paying myself back kind of for the gas fees of doing this. and I'm just going to supply that. And so now that I've already gotten my money out of here, the 0.4 BNB off of my first claims, you can keep doing this on the Binance Smart Chain. And this is the big difference compared to Ethereum currently. And what we want to be able to do is to be able to move around our tokens very quickly. And my daughter just entered the room if you happen to hear her. But this allows you to move your stuff and get everything working. So it's really fun to do this kind of stuff, and I hope you all have a lot of fun. And I gotta go. This is why I was making a quick video. They'd be home really soon.